But I don't understand the theory that you're proceeding under to collect for these other things. I can understand the deductible and some of the other court costs, but not the rental or the lost wages, certainly.
Okay.
Generally speaking,
Mr. Van Dien tried to explain all
right,
this.
Mr. Vetsky is correct. You are limited under the mini tort law to the deductible. If I find that the defendant's at fault, and I haven't even
The
gotten
mini
that
tort
far
law
yet.
is for the state.
What, ma'am?
The mini tort law is for the people who is with the state and they don't have insurance.
No, that's not correct. That's not.
Well, that's
Now,
not what
Mr.
I
Van
studied.
No, wait, no, ma'am, that's not a correct statement. That's not what the law is for, okay? Why do you think you should get more money than just the deductible?
Well, that was it. I was suing under that law, which I guess I was misinformed. And I thought that this could be further, I could, because it was such an out-of-pocket expense that I was hoping that this would.
Well, it's an out-of-pocket expense for you, but just because it's an out-of-pocket expense for you doesn't mean that you're entitled to get reimbursed for it legally.
And after all, well, I thought because I could get reimbursed legally, because it shows by the accident report and by even his own recognition that he ran the red light.
Well, yes, but you're confusing liability with damages, okay? He may be liable to you for something. The question is how much.
Okay.
All right, let's recap. The defendant just admitted that he was at least 50% at fault. That might hurt him. Now, the plaintiff wants damages for all kinds of things. That might hurt him. Let's see what the judge says.
The testimony really is not too much in dispute regarding the crucial issue here, which is the color of the light at the intersection. Your testimony, Mr. McCormick, was the light was green. Your testimony was that the light was yellow. The light was yellow for you. It was probably green for Mr. McCormick. When it comes to lights at intersections and what the law is, if the light is yellow, you have to stop, okay? Lots of people think when they see a yellow light that means hurry up and get through the intersection before it turns red, and that's not really what the law says. Caution light means stop if you can stop safely. If you can't stop safely, then of course you go through the intersection, and when that occurs is when you're approaching the intersection and you're very, very close to the intersection and the light turns yellow, and there's no way that you could stop without, locking up your brakes and skidding and potentially causing an accident. You might be able to stop before you reach the intersection, but you would stop so suddenly that you'd become a hazard. In that instance, you proceed through the intersection even though the light is yellow. And in those instances, it's usually pretty easy for you to get through the intersection before it turns red because the light turns yellow right before you reach it. Other instances, but that's the exception. Generally speaking, when the light is yellow, you stop, okay? Now, in this case, you were traveling on that service drive, and that's the very low speed limit there. It's not like going on
Well, it was under
Van Dyke.
construction, and
Which
it was all
means-
torn up, which has made it a little bit more difficult to stop.
Right, which means you have to go even slower.
Correct.
Because of the conditions. It means you can't drive the speed limit. So you should have been driving slow enough because of the conditions and because it's only a service drive where once you see the yellow light, you should be able to stop safely unless that light turns yellow right before you reach it.
I agree, Your Honor, and as Mr. Van Teen tried to point out to Mr. McCormick, that if I'm supposed to be doing the same thing, then so is Mr. McCormick.
No, because he has the right of way over you. He had the green light.
But he wasn't approaching this slowly under construction situation.
That's true, but he had the
Because
green.
if you look at how hard my vehicle was hit, he never slowed down.
He doesn't have to slow down. He's got the green light. You've
But
got the yellow light. You've got to stop.
But how can it be yellow and green at the same time?
Why not? Why not?
So you're trying to tell me that every light that's yellow, it's green on the other side?
It could have been here. His testimony was that the light was green, and your testimony was the light was yellow. If he's got the green light,
Okay.
he goes through the intersection. If
I
you got
understand.
the yellow light, you've got to stop.
Judge, wait a minute. The defendant is right. If the defendant says he had a yellow light, the plaintiff cannot have a green light. Think about it.
So I'm going to find that you're at fault in the accident. I think that you legally caused the accident because the light was yellow for you and you had to stop and you didn't. Mr. McCormick had the green light. He didn't have to stop. He can proceed through the intersection. And there's no dispute about that. But now we get to the second question, which we kind of talked about earlier, which is how much you're entitled to. What are the damages? That's a different question from liability. And you're not entitled to anywhere near what you think. Okay, you've presented me with a list here of things that you think you're entitled to. Let's go down. There's a filing fee of $45. That's a cost of filing this case. You're entitled to that. $4.64, certified mail. What's that?
I had to mail for him
To come to court?
yeah.
Now, his first letters that I passed over to Mr. Van Teen, he served me certified mail
With what, though?
with those letters that Mr. Van Teen got.
Is this what you're asking for, to be reimbursed for certified mail expenses? This letter?
Yeah,
Yes.
Well, is that a yes?
yeah, yes, I guess so.
You're not entitled to that.
All right.
It's got nothing to do with this court date.
Okay.
Rental, you're not entitled to. Wage, you're not entitled to. Police Department accident case number, $5. Is that the fee you paid to get the accident report
Correct.
from the police department? That's not directly related to this case, so you're not entitled to that. $1.85, Mr. Vincent T. Van Teen, Postal Service, no, you're not entitled to that. That's his lawyer.
Okay.
Affidavit and claim, $1.34. What's that?
That's, it's just called an affidavit of claim.
Yeah, but $1.34? Who did you pay that to?
It was a certified letter, Your Honor, at the post office there
To him?
to him, because his lawyer had written Mr. McCormick a letter, and I was answering it back.
Okay, well, then you're definitely not entitled to get that back. So that's, you're employing a woman here apparently who's not licensed to practice law, and you're not entitled to any.
Well, I didn't employ her,
fees.
excuse me, no, I
Well,
did not.
well, you want money back for fees that apparently she paid, or you paid her to do something.
No, I never paid her. We're friends. Everything here is,
I know.
she's doing for me out of the kindness of her heart.
Well, then she could pay the $1.34.
Okay.
Kinko's fax, $2. You fax something to, use Kinko's fax machine or what?
Yeah, to make those.
That, I can answer that, Your Honor.
I'm sure you can.
That had to come from his insurance company, because he had to get some papers from the insurance.
That's not allowed for cost. All right, I'm gonna enter a judgment as follows. $500 in damages, that's the deductible. That's all you're entitled to get.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Well, but you are entitled to costs in addition to damages, okay? So don't jump the gun here a little bit, or too much. $45 in costs for the filing fee you are entitled to, and you are entitled to the additional service fee of $23. Okay, that's gonna be a total of $568. That'll be the judgment for you, Mr. McCormick.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set. Now you've got to take back all of your exhibits here, and I'm not sure who gave me what. I'm assuming each of you can tell what you gave me and can sort it out. All right, you're all set. Have a good day, gentlemen. You're welcome. What's your question?
How do I get the payment, or?
I can't give you legal advice, sir.
I got 30 days, then I get it.
I can't give you legal advice. Talk to Ms. McMurray over there. You know, maybe she can help you out, okay?
Thank you.
Or maybe you want to retain an attorney who graduated from law school.
The
That
legal
might be a
fee,
better idea.
the law requires 30 days, Your Honor, in the
Well, I'm
settlement.
not giving legal advice, ma'am, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're both welcome.
Damages are very specific in small claims court. You only get what you sue for, not incidental damages like pain and suffering, wage loss, or postage. And finally, if you want to represent someone, go to law school or keep quiet. If you find that you are involved in a dispute that you can't resolve, small claims court may be the answer. Thanks for watching Case Closed. I'm Charlie Langton.